readers, welcome to Reader's Workshop today. I want you to go ahead and get your reader's notebook. Yours might be a different color than mine, but it says My Reader's Notebook on it and it has the spiral bound. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and get this notebook. Okay, so let me go to our strategies tab. It's the pink one. And let's see, last time we did Reader's Workshop, we looked at using prior knowledge. And today, readers, I want to teach you about how readers can make inferences. Okay, so find them making inferences. So readers read between the lines and make an educated guess using their knowledge and text evidence. Readers read between the lines and make an educated guess using their knowledge and text evidence. Reading between the lines means that they're making an educated guess based on information, clues from the text, their schema, which is just a fancy way of saying their background knowledge, what they already know about the topic, and they use their clues and their schema to make a guess about something. So I would like you to go to the next available page in your reader's notebook, and we're going to make our inference page. So it should come right after your prior knowledge page. Okay, so go ahead and put the date. Today is September 17th, 2020, and write inference at the top. Remember, you can always pause to give yourself time to write. And I thought before we write the teaching point, let's write what an inference is. So an inference is an educated guess. That means a guess based on information, right? It's not a random guess. An educated guess based on clues from the text and background knowledge. So that's what an inference is. Go ahead and pause to write that. Okay, and our teaching point today, readers can understand a text more deeply by inferring. Go ahead and write that down. Go ahead and pause. Okay, readers, hopefully you wrote that. So let's see. So an inference is, and you can get some markers to draw this part, but save room on your paper. If you run out of room, you can turn to the next page. So we're going to use clues from the text plus our schema. Remember, our schema is just our background knowledge, what we already know about that topic, equals an inference. Okay, so we're using an addition problem in reading today. So clues plus our schema, bring them together to make an inference, which was an educated guess. Okay, so we're going to try this work together. First, watch me how I do this work. Okay, we're going to make this chart. We're going to do 2 examples, and then you're going to do one after this lesson in our Google Classroom. Okay, so I made a chart, and I want you to make a chart as well. Okay, so write clues from the text, schema, and inference. And then we'll draw a line. Okay, let's see if we can read this text and get some clues, but go ahead and pause if you haven't finished making our chart yet. Okay, so I'm going to read you this passage. This is our text. Okay, text is just another way to say passage or story or book, right? Okay, so read with me as I read aloud. Let's see if we can find some inferences. Crack! The thunder struck and rain poured. Max stared blankly out the window, trying to contain his emotions that raged like the weather. He was beginning to lose it. Dropping the kite from his hand, Max broke out into sobs. His mother comforted him. There, Max. We'll just find something else to do. She began to unpack the picnic basket that was on the counter and offered him a sandwich. Max snapped, I don't want a sandwich. A flash from the sky lit up the living room. Boom. Mom sighed. Okay, so we're going to have to use our inferencing skills to figure out exactly what is happening. I've had some questions. I was wondering, what was it that Max was really wanting to do? Okay. So let's see if we can make our inference. So clues from the text. What clues can we take from the text about what Max was trying to do here? Let's see. I'm going to use my yellow. Let's see. Crack. Thunder struck and rain poured. Max stared blankly out the window. Okay. If you stare blankly out the window, if you stare blankly out the window, I can imagine feeling like kind of disappointed. That was a little clue for me, right? Trying to contain his emotions that raged like the weather. He was beginning to lose it. He was really upset. Dropping the kite from his hand, Max broke out into full sobs. Ooh, dropping the kite. His mother comforted him. There, Max, we'll just find something else to do. So they were going to do something related to the kite. Okay, we're going to have to infer what's happening. She began to unpack the picnic basket that was on the counter and offered him a sandwich. Oh, she had packed a picnic basket. Can you envision what they were going to do? Let's write down some of these clues. Okay. So clues from the text. I know that Max was, he had a kite and he dropped his kite. Okay, go ahead and write that. Mom also said something. She said, we'll just have to find something else to do, right? So she's telling us that we're not going to be able to do what we had hoped. Okay, so Mom said, do something else, right? I'll put that in quotation marks. Okay, and she did say she began to unpack the picnic basket, right? Okay, guys, our schema, what's our background knowledge? Okay, what's our background knowledge? Okay, what do we know about storms? Can you fly a kite if it's raining? No, right? So I know that you can't fly a kite in the rain, right? You kind of want a clear day with lots of wind, right? Okay, when he said he stared blankly out the window, okay, and that he was trying to contain his emotions, okay, I could say that I think when you're disappointed, right, you try and control those emotions. So let's see, what inference can we make? He dropped his kite. Mom said, we're going to have to do something else. She unpacked the picnic, and we know you can't fly a kite in the rain. So what can we infer about what was going on? I think I can infer that Max's date with Mom to fly a kite and have a picnic was ruined by the thunder and lightning storm, right? So I'm going to write my inference here. I can infer that Max's picnic and kite date with his mom was ruined by the storm. Now, what's so neat about inference is the author never said Max was really disappointed because his picnic and kite date was ruined. We had to make an educated guess, right? And so we use clues plus what we already knew about flying a kite to figure that out. Okay, so now I want you to try. Okay, here's another one. And we're going to read this together, and then I want you to try and figure out some clues from the text, your schema, your background knowledge, and see if you can draw an inference. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Every day after work, Paul took his muddy boots off on the steps of the front porch. Alice would have a fit if the boots made it in so far as the welcome mat. He then took off his dusty overalls and threw them into a plastic garbage bag. Alice left a new garbage bag tied to the porch railing for him every morning. On his way in the house, he dropped the garbage bag off at the washing machine and went straight up the stairs to the shower as he was instructed. He would eat his dinner with her after he was presentable, as Alice had often said. Now, sometimes when I'm inferring, I need to go back and read it again. Okay, so go ahead, and I want you to pause the screen and read this one more time. Okay, readers, hopefully you've read that one more time. Okay, so let's see what clues from the text that we can figure out. Now, I'm kind of wondering, you might be trying to infer, what is it that Paul does for work? Or what kind of job might he have? You might be wondering, what is the relationship like between Paul and Alice? So I guess it depends on what you're wondering. Let's look for some clues. Maybe I'm thinking about, what does Paul do for work? Let's see if I can find some clues in the text. Every day after work, Paul took his muddy boots off on the steps of the front porch. So we know he's coming back from work and he has muddy boots. Okay. Alice would have a fit if the boots made it in so far as the welcome mat. He then took off his dusty overalls and threw them into a plastic garbage bag. Is there any clue in there of what he might do for work? Okay, let's see. Dusty overalls. So I'm trying to think about what kinds of things make you muddy, and you might wear you might wear overalls that might get dusty while you're at work. Okay. Alice threw the new garbage bag tied to the front porch the garbage bag tied to the front porch railing for him every morning. On his way in the house, he dropped the garbage bag off at the washing machine and went straight up the stairs to the shower as he was instructed. Ooh, I can infer that that Alice is kind of in charge and making the rules, and he has to follow those rules, right? Okay, so let's see. Clues from the text. I found that he had muddy boots, if I was trying to figure out what he did for work, and dusty overalls, right? And I know that he probably works, that you get muddy from being outside, right? And you get dusty, right, by working with dirt or maybe cattle or some other things that might make you dirty. It didn't say greasy, right? So he's probably not fixing a car. So if I'm trying to infer what he does for work, I'm probably not going to say that he works in an office, right? Okay, so what can you infer here about the type of job he has, right? Okay, so you might think, I can infer that Paul might work on a farm or ranch outside, right? So that was my inference, okay? So readers, today I want you to go into your Google Classroom after this assignment, and you're going to make an inference based on the passage that I put up there. So you're going to take clues from the text, your schema, and you're going to draw a conclusion or make an inference based on the clues and your background knowledge. Okay, readers, off you go to make your inferences.